I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
Today's pep talk, I want to talk about your kids and their friends. And most of us parents try to screen out who our kids' friends are and make sure that they're hanging out with kids that are good for them. And I think this is a great thing to do. And we want to know where they are, who they're with, make sure we know the parents, make sure we know what they're doing, where they're going, and all that type of thing. And that's part of being a good parent. I think most of that's pretty straightforward for most of us parents. If you're concerned enough that you're subscribing to these pep talks, I'm sure that you really scrutinize who your kids hang out with. Even if you have little ones, who you make those play dates with. You're really looking for people that fit, that gel, that are a good influence, that make you a better person. And then when you encounter friends of your kids that are friends of your kids, if they're misbehavior problems, if they have a lot of trouble, sometimes you start to wonder, is that stuff going to rub off on my kids? And so all of that is great. And I think that, it's a good thing to do. And today I just want to give an example of when that alternative seemed in hindsight to work out good as well. And this was an example of my older daughter, Brianna. And she had this friend, Jen, that she was friends with from the time she was about in second grade. And Jen had a lot of problems. Jen was a pain in the butt sometimes. And so she would come over, and whenever she came over, she had an attitude. She did not treat her mother respectfully. And Bree would start talking to me disrespectfully too. So, one school of thought is you can't hang out with people like that. However, this was a very dear friend of my daughter's, and she had known her for a couple of years, and she really cared about her. And she knew she had a family life at home that was difficult. And so she wanted to be her friend. And so while I didn't tolerate disrespectful behavior towards me, I handled that when it came up. I did tolerate the friendship over time. And one particular example that I remember so well, we were in Round Table Pizza having dinner, and it was myself and someone else, and then Brianna and her friend Jen. And the girls were just being obnoxious, and they were talking bad, and every time I would say something, they would say something really disrespectfully to me. Mostly it was the friend, and the friend was just being icky and awful, and I was just getting really angry. And finally, I couldn't stand it anymore, and I took my daughter outside. And actually, my daughter was also talking to me disrespectfully. And so I took her outside, and I was absolutely almost in tears. And I said, you know what? I am feeling completely humiliated in there. And the way you're talking to me and the way Jen's talking to me, I just want to scream at both of you. And I don't want to embarrass you in front of your friend, but I need you to stop, and I need you to get her to stop too. And I need you guys to be respectful. I need you guys to behave appropriately, and enough of this. And I don't want to have another word of this. And she got it. She really got it that I was upset. And so we went back in, and she just did a total turnaround. She told her friend to shut up every time she was opening her mouth and being disrespectful. And it really made an impression on her. And so, I just found that even though I could have called her out on the carpet in front of her friend, that would have embarrassed and humiliated her. It could have accelerated the problem. And I just felt it was appropriate to take her outside and be real with her and still be respectful, even though she didn't deserve it. It just made it work a lot better. And I'm going to continue this on to tomorrow's pep talk and go on with the rest of the story. So have a great day. Happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.